Welcome, Divya. Third, we have A.S. Hari Prasad from 3rd BA English, A section. Welcome, Hari Prasad.
Congratulations. Do well. Yeah.
Hi, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Next, we have S. Sangeeta from 3rd BA English Literature, A section.
Thank you, ma'am.
Hello, Sangeeta.
Congratulations. Yeah.
Next, we have A. Dilip. Congratulations.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yes. Then we have A. Dilip Arvid Anton of 3rd BA English, B section. Congratulations.
Thank you,
Dilip.
ma'am.
Congratulations.
Then we have C. Kishonika
Thank you, sir.
from 3rd BA English, B section. And I'd like to congratulate all the secretaries, and I would hope that everybody will be doing very good. Thank you, everyone.
Congratulations to you all.
Thank you, ma'am, for introducing our new
Thank you, sir.
secretaries. To be inspired is great, but to be an inspiration is an honor. Now it's time for us to pay attention to our keynote speaker, and it is indeed an honor for us to introduce our shining star of this event, Dr. K. Tamilmani, Head of the Department of English in Nehru Memorial College, Puthanambachi. We are happy to have you here in this virtual platform, and we are eagerly waited to hear your thoughts, sir.
Respected Deputy Principal, Dr. Alex Ramani, Head of the Department, Dr. V.L. Jayapal, Dr. V. Francis, Dean of Languages,
Yes, sir. Okay.
Coordinator of SHIP 2, Department of English, St. Joseph's College, Dr. Johnson Francis, the organizer of this particular event, Dr. Elu Nyairu, and all the learned colleagues in the Department of English, and the vibrant students of St. Joseph's College. Very warm good evening to every one of you.
Good evening, sir.
I
Thank
feel
you.
that, good evening, sir. Good evening, sir. I feel honored by your presence, sir, and the nice words you have spoken about literature and its relevant activities. Very unique and very, very appropriate, sir.
Thank you.
We feel honored. We feel honored by your remarkable observations. You have set the ground for me, and my job is very easy now. I will start from where you stopped, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much for the nice and precise words, sir. Wonderful beginning, sir.
Thank
Yes, sir. Dr. Johnson Francis and Dr. Elu Nyairu for this wonderful opportunity to meet you all and to share with you some of my experiences as a teacher. As a teacher in a rural college, as I have been introduced by my teachers to the world of literature, very often I share these ideas in my classes, and today I am going to share those ideas right in front of you with you, the vibrant students of St. Joseph's College. First of all, I would like to appreciate the MC doing person, Ms. Divya, for doing the job in a very fine way, in a very cool manner. My sincere appreciations to you, Divya. You have been doing without any hindrance, without any pause. The very way you express about the event and everybody is very, very remarkable. Keep going. You have a long way to go. Definitely, you will flourish in your life.
Thank you so much, sir.
Yeah. Similarly, I would like to appreciate my sincere appreciation again to Ms. Sangeeta. She has also done a very good way of introducing the dignitaries, right from the deputy principal to myself, in a very simple way. But at the same time, she has exposed all the details about the persons in a very few words. My appreciations to you, Miss Sangeeta, again,
Thank you,
from
sir.
first May or second May. Yeah. Keep going, Sangeeta. You will gain more ideas, and you will gain more platforms of this kind. You will come up in your life. Keep going. This
Thank
is
you,
where
sir.
you have to hone your personality, your leadership traits. I think Department of English, St. Joseph's College is giving this kind of leadership training through this department association activities. I know about it right from the period from Professor Dr. Papu Benjamin Ilango and from Dr. Joseph Arul Jayaraj, and right now my own friend Dr. V.L. Jayapal and Dr. V. Francis. They have been doing yeoman service to the students community. I know very well they are all very, very student friendly, and they work for a good cause always. I'm a friend of them. I feel very proud about it, and I feel very happy to be associated with St. Joseph's College for all the academic and the non-academic activities. And I feel honored by the invitation. Now I will enter into my task. It is a very pleasant task given to me to speak about the very, very fundamental business of a teacher of English literature. And this is the place where we have to start our work every day, and this is the place where we cannot forget, we cannot turn away. This is our primary job, to inculcate creative thinking in the young minds. So with this very few words, I enter into my presentation. I have some specific objectives in my mind. These are the objectives. What is literature? As I told you just now, Professor Alex Ramani has set the ground for me. What is literature? He has spoken widely about Charles Darwin and Shakespeare and Jonathan Swift. Really, that is where I wanted to start. Again, I will start from the place where Professor Ramani has stopped. What is literature? And I will throw light on the importance of literature in everyone's life, particularly the students of literature. We must feel very, very proud about having chosen the right discipline. Literature is the right discipline. Literature gives you a sense of direction. Literature gives you a sense of meaningfulness in your life. As a student of literature, you can be an exemplary person to your family, to your friends, to your neighbors, to your fellow classmates. I could say for the morrow, you can be a good model. In the third part, I will focus on what is creative thinking. Can you be a creative thinker? This must be the question. As said by Dr. Johnson Francis in his presidential address, people think that as soon as you study English literature, many people think that you can become a poet, you can become a creative writer, you can become a critic. If you ask me, sir, is it possible? I will say it is possible. It is possible if you are a creative thinker every minute. If you ask me how is it possible, I have some suggestions to make. I will offer you some ideas, some strategies to hone up your creative thinking. It is possible. And finally, I would like to touch upon how to develop creative thinking, not only in the classroom, outside the classroom. How can you become a problem solver? How can you become a different individual, a unique individual, a man or a woman standing apart? You are not part of the crowd. You are above the crowd. And you are going to inspire the crowd. as a student of literature, this is possible. This is possible, and let us go deep into that. What is literature? If I ask you to give me a response, definitely there will be umpteen number of responses. Literature is the mirror of life. Literature is the reflection of life. Literature is life. Literature talks about life, people, many responses. Definitely, you will come out with many responses. I agree with you. As already touched by the Deputy Principal, Professor Ramani, literature means, as he touched upon the 5 genres: stories, poems, plays, fiction, and primarily to entertain, to provide you entertainment. Even before that, we consider these stories, poems, plays, fiction, they are considered to have some value as an art form, as an art. They are not purely as the entertainment value-oriented things. Apart from entertainment, they have infotainment. They have some value in it. Literature is abundant with values. Literature thrives because the world needs it. People need it. If you ask me what is literature again, any written document, any written document. Now, we seriously speak about getting the vaccine, COVID vaccine. So there are many pieces of information available about Covaxin, about Covishield. The moment you decide to take the injection, many of you tend to read literature about Covishield, Covaxin, and all the other vaccines available throughout the world. So if you want to gather some information, you go and find the information in literature available about the particular thing. If you want to buy a car, there are literature available. If you want to buy some household appliances, literature available. Literature is available. You get it from the shop, and then you go through them. You have some analysis, and then you arrive at a conclusion that this is the best one. We ask for literature, anything. The historical books, the magazines, the newspapers, the dictionaries you and me very often refer to find the meaning of the words. All these are literature, definitely. But on your right-hand side, novels, prose pieces, plays, short stories, these are also called literature. Then what is the difference? Between them? The first one, the one that you have it on the left-hand side. The first one, they mainly present information. But on the list which you have it on the right-hand side, they provide you information as well as entertainment. They provide you some kind of amusement. Could you please respond to me, my dear participants, students, participants here? Could you please respond to me? What is the therapy which is associated with literature? Right now, it is given as a prescription to many people who suffer from mental illness. Mental illness. What is that therapy which is associated with literature? My students, friends here, you can respond to me in the chat box, or you can respond to me in the through the microphone. What is the therapy called? I think the MC desk, Divya can try to answer me, or Sangeeta can try to answer me.
Reading
Book. Yeah. Yes. I think someone who has typed it. Rufus Vivin Bias. Yeah, bibliotherapy. Nice. So nice. You are from second MA, I suppose. Am I right, Rufus?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good, good,
Thank you, sir.
good, wonderful, man. Good. Bibliography. Yeah, right now, this is a kind of training given to the people who enter into MNCs, multinational companies. As soon as they complete their graduation in computer science or in mathematics or physics, when they get employed, they are given some kind of technical training in Wipro or Infosys or some other multinational companies. Part of the technical training, they give some bibliotherapy also. They are going to deal with machines, so they are given some 5 to 7 books to be read and completed within a fortnight. 5 to 7 books of their choice. They can choose any novels, any short story collection, any poetry book. They can keep it, they can keep them with themselves. They can read at their leisure time, and they have to do a kind of review then and every now and then within that fortnight. What is the reason behind it? Books are considered to be the real remedy. The real remedy. We will talk about it later in a very detailed way. So there are two sets of written documents. One which, the first one provides you a lot of information. The second one provides you information as well as entertainment. The informative literature, the things that you read about Napoleon Bonaparte or his war at Waterloo or Mr. Malcolm X, these are all informative literature. On the other hand, imaginative literature. Imaginative literature aims to arouse your thoughts, your feelings. This arousal is done by the author. How are they done? The author's words, author's ideas, author's thoughts, they arouse your feelings. Your feelings and your thoughts, they get shaped. So in informative literature, it doesn't take place. It doesn't happen. In imaginative literature, it happens. It happens. Those who are the lovers of literature, they continue to enjoy this. They continue to shape themselves. They become matured enough. They become balanced enough. They become very, very accommodative. They become very, very cool. That is why men of letters and writers, they say, they keep this view, they held this view. Imaginative literature has fuller and deeper sense than informative literature. So imaginative literature occupies the primary position. When you speak of imaginative literature, creativity plays a major role. Creativity plays a major role. The creative genius of the writer impresses the readers. And they continue to explore the writer and the writer's complete works. Once you have tasted the writing style of a particular writer, you continue to read all the works of the particular writer. And some of you, after your post-graduation, you try to enter into MPhil and PhD to delve deep into the writer, to find more meaning in the writings of the particular author. You do your MPhil research and your PhD research. And that is how we have done. That is how we have done. Again, I go back to the deputy principal's remarks about folklore or folk tales. Yes, apart from the written documents which are available in the form of literature, we have got this oral tradition. Oral tradition. So, since a time immemorial, There were literary works. There were narrators. They were nomads. They were moving from place to place. And they were all good storytellers. They were all good storytellers. My dear young students, again, I have a question right now. Why are we story lovers and why are we storytellers? Is there any specific reason, my dear students? Can you think for a while and then answer me in the chat box? Why are we story lovers and why are we storytellers? We do both. We have been doing. Think about all the serials which are available through our television networks. Every television has some 5 to 7 serials, all storytelling. In our houses, there are many story lovers. They love to listen to the stories. Why do we behave in such a way? What is the reason behind it? Come on. Any response, my dear students, participants? Yeah, there is one response again from Divya. It has more imagination than facts. Okay, I agree with you. Beyond that, Divya, where did we cultivate this? As I told you, from time immemorial, man has been wandering here and there. He was a nomad, wandering here and there. This wandering starts at everyday sunrise. At 6 o'clock in the morning, he will start moving from a place. When does it stop? At sunset. When the darkness comes, people don't move in those days. So during that 6 to 6, 12 hours of roaming, yeah, there is another response from Hari Prashant. It is nature of human to make communication, speaking and listening, and so we love it. Yes, yes, Hari Prashant, you are coming to the point. That is where I am also leading you. As a nomad, he started walking at 6 o'clock in the morning and stopped his walking at 6 o'clock in the evening. During the 12 hours, he had a wide variety of experiences. He has come across some 2 or 3 animals. They were chasing him. And he has come across some wonderful fruits to eat. He tasted them. So these are the varied experiences he had out of the 12 hours. So at sunset, all the people will assemble in a place. Imagine, they were all cavemen living in the caves. So before they go and sleep in the caves, they will have a campfire type of thing, and they will sit in front of the fire, and they will narrate their day's experience. On the particular day, they have got some new experiences. That new experiences will be shared by each and every one to the fellow human beings. So storytelling started from cavemen, our ancestors. We were very eager to tell stories. Suppose somebody did not have any good experience at all, then he will cook up and tell. That is how the idiom came out. Cock and bull story, an invented story. Invented story told by a fellow human being during those days, because he had not got any experience on the particular day. So he invented a story, cock and bull story. So from oral tradition also, we have got wonderful thing about our own past, our own ancestors. And this is known as folk literature, folklore, oral literature. It is still there, but research has to be done more on oral literature. We always focus on written literature, particularly in Tamil Nadu. People from Department of Tamil, they focus on oral literature. They go to different hilly regions. They go to Kullimalai or Pachimalai, and they go and talk with them. the tribes living there, they tell a rich kind of literature which is available only in the oral form. In the oral form. Generally, we, the people from Department of English, we rely on the written documents. Let us focus on that. What is good literature? Is there any yardstick for that? Is there any measure for that? Again, I invite the students, participants to give me a reply to that. What is considered to be a piece of good literature? What is the standard that you have in your mind? As a student of literature, you have come across many pieces of literature, drama, poetry, fiction. What is the yardstick? Which one you consider as the good literature? Come on. I need your responses, my dear students, friends. I hope you are doing some thinking. I think you are reflecting. You are going back to your memory, and then you are analyzing which can be the yardstick. So right now you are doing a kind of divergent thinking. All the creative writers are divergent thinkers. Now you are entertaining divergent thinking. Am I right, my dear students? I hope you are with me. Am I audible? Am I clear to you?
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay. Then tell me, what is considered to be a piece of good literature? Bible is a piece of good literature. Tirukural is a piece of good literature. Am I right? Quran is a piece of good literature. All the holy books are considered to be the pieces of good literature. Come on. What is the yardstick? How do we arrive at this? I think there is an answer right now. It should explain the relevance of the theme. Good, Rufus, good. A good literature which touches the human emotions, guide him to the best from him or of him, and correct his faults. Okay, good. And Dr. Johnson Francis has come out with a response. Literature that teaches as well as entertains. Yes, sir. You're right, absolutely. Teach and delight. Absolutely correct, sir. Teach and delight. Matthew Arnold said like that. By students. Okay, by students. This is given by students. Literature that teaches as well as entertains. Definitely. What is good literature? We have got some yardstick. Let us go to them. There is always a rivalry around. The rivalry between humanities and science. Science people, they say they deal with the truth, and they condemn the people from literature. They say literature people, they don't deal with the truth. They deal with only imaginative things. Only imaginative things. So whatever they say is not true. This is a kind of condemnation. Actually, we have our own justification for our imaginative thinking, and only through our words the world gets shaped. So at this juncture, as a student of literature, you must see the very, very important difference between truth and fact. I think second MA student Divya came out with a reply. The fact. Literature deals with the facts, definitely. There is no doubt about it. I agree with you. Fully, I agree with you. But we must know the difference between the two words, truth and fact. There is another response from Dr. Francis, I think Arokia Andrews. It is very hard to describe good literature, according to me. Yeah, every literature has some magic to do with the readers. It helps them indulge in the book and make them indulge in the language and the environment of the book, definitely. It should indulge you, it should engage you, it should immerse you. I could say it could even engulf you. It can empower you, it can overpower you. That is the power of the book. That is the power of the words written by the particular author. That is how we remember them. That is how we adore them. I agree with you, Arak Andrews, definitely. Here, I again go back to the slide. The two words should be understood in a proper light. What are the two words? What are the two words? First, let us take up fact. Look at the fact which are given here as an example. I think Ms. Annie Rose, staff member, has given a response. Literature that teaches as well as entertains. John Martin. Okay, I agree with you, John Martin. Let us have a look at the difference between fact and truth. Here, there are two examples for fact. If you drop a stone or a piece of chalk, it will fall to the ground. It will break into pieces. This is a fact. The sun rises in the east and sets in the west. The two sentences are examples for facts. Whereas, look at this. Then what is truth? Then what is truth? The truth is what some people believe, whether you agree or not. Every writer is trying to present some facts through or in order to establish a particular truth. Okay. Here in the chat box, for a kind of reversal, I write a sentence. Look at the sentence. I hope you are able to see the sentence. Money is not so important. Money is not so important. This is a fact. But in order to drive home this idea, I can tell you a kind of very small anecdote, or you can call it a story. Imagine. There was an officer who was caught on bribery. So he did some bribing. So he was, he received some bribe. So he was caught. And he was standing in the court. The judge was trying to interrogating him, and he accepted the crime. Yes, I received money for doing this. He accepted. So as he accepted the crime, the action, the judge was pleased. So he wanted to reduce the punishment, and he wanted to give him some options also. So 3 options. These are the 3 options. First option, he has to eat 5 kilograms of onion at a time. He has to eat 5 kilograms of onion at a time. This is the first option. Second option, he will be given 50 lashes continuously. 50 lashes. Third option, $1,000 he has to pay as a fine, and then he can leave the court. This officer who was caught on bribery would like to opt for a particular option. What is your guess, my dear students? Can you tell me the option preferred by the officer out of the 3 options? 5 kilograms of onion eating, or 50 lashes, or $1,000 fine. Which one is very easy? My dear students, I am trying to establish the fact money is not so important. This fact is to be established. Okay, last one. Miss Annie Rose has given last one. But unfortunately, Miss Annie Rose, he has not preferred the last one. He preferred eating 5 kilograms of onion. He started eating. Just he has crossed some 200 grams of onion. He was unable to eat that. He started weeping. A lot of tears coming out from his eyes. So he stopped eating onions, and he begged the judge to take 50 lashes. Okay, the judge agreed. You would have done, yeah. So I think Ms. Annie Rose has got the point. So within 10 lashes, he was unable to stand. He fell on the ground. So now he is ready to pay that $1,000. $1,000 is paid, and then now he is walking on the road. Now he realizes, unfortunately, he tasted all the three punishments because of his unpreparedness to pay the money at the first instance. So money is not so important. He has done a crime and he has been punished, so he has to accept it. So this is a kind of story which tells you, or which drives you, an important fact, and finally it tries to establish the truth. So if you ask me to make a clear demarcation between truth and fact in literature, it is an impossible task. It is an impossible task because writers, they are so clever enough to touch upon the two things. They don't differ from the other one. They present some 2 or 3 facts in order to drive home a particular truth, or they catch hold of the truth and then they develop some facts from it. So somehow there is a kind of intermingling of the two. That is what said here. The author has arranged facts in order to present us with a picture that makes us think and feel. As a reader, as an audience, we accept the facts for the time being and read the story and enjoy it and appreciate it. What is good literature? As said by many, I think I've got so many responses. On the basis of how a writer selects his facts and how he arranges his facts, you and me judge whether his or her work is good or not. That is why the Nobel Prize Committee decides the Nobel laureates. The Booker Prize is given on the basis of some criteria. And this is the criteria. Even if the writer makes up the facts, they have to seem real to us. Sometimes we try to test the reality in it. We have a kind of testing methods. Made of facts have to fit plausibly with the real facts. Otherwise, you will say definitely these are not possible. These are all impossible things. So among you, there are many students, you don't like a certain type of literature. Some of you very much like magical realism. Some of you don't. Some of you don't agree of certain things. No, these are all totally not acceptable. Some people, they love it. They love it, and then we continue to read. Again, what is good literature? The good writer will let the facts speak for themselves. The facts are presented in the piece of work. It is the duty of the reader, you, how to find out the facts. So he may not tell you, the writer may not tell you the answers abruptly, explicitly. The answers are there, the facts are there. Imagine if the writer is a war poet, like Wilfred Owen, Strange Meeting. You are reading that poem. In Strange Meeting, there are many wonderful lines. The pity war distilled, the pity of war. Every sentence is full of meaning. Nowhere Wilfred Owen talks about war is good, war is bad, war should be nowhere. He doesn't speak like that. But what is the message? There must be an end to war. If the writer is telling a war story, he doesn't have to tell us that killing is bad. Wilfred Owen never tells that killing is bad. War is evil. He doesn't tell like that. But the implication is that. And this is the standard. This is the yardstick. If the writer arranges the materials in a right manner and present them in the right way, we will be able to see that war is one of the evils of mankind. And this is what he is suggesting. And this is what he intends. And we consider him as one of the great writers. Till today, there are many who is very keen on reading good literature. They go to places, they meet writers, they have interview, they read all their books. They are lovers of literature. Only through this lovers of literature, the good literature is alive. It keeps going. There are people who still read Shakespeare. Now, Shakespeare's plays are reread to find out the management concepts. Now, people in MBA courses, MBA programs, they study Shakespeare. These plays are shown to them. These plays are staged in MBA programs. Because in Shakespeare's plays, there are a lot of ideas, management ideas. Managerial skills are taught through Shakespeare plays. You may not believe. And this is happening in B schools. So good literature lives also because it gives pleasure, as already expressed by one of the students. It gives you entertainment. It gives you kind of a feeling, a oneness. And you always look for the style of the writer and the technique used by him. These are all remarkable things. So as a formula, as a yardstick for good literature, we also focus on originality. Literature deals with life, truth, justice, and love. Okay. But this particular writer deals with life in a different way. There are many writers. Every writer talks about justice. Every writer talks about love. But this particular way of treating justice, the theme of justice, theme of love is very different and very unique. So there comes the greatness. Originality. Originality consists not of inventing new things, but of seeing and expressing the old unalterable things in a new way. When I speak of the word new way, the creativity steps in. The creativity is the driving force. The way in which he makes use of certain words. You know the word, I know the word, but Vairamuthu, our Kavingar Vairamuthu rocks. The words used by our poet Kavingar Vairamuthu is known to me and known to you. But we don't know how to use them in such a way. Literature is important in everybody's life. Literature creates a way for people to record their thoughts and experiences. Only through literature, we have a grip on the particular culture, particular time, particular people, a particular idea. So through their fictionalized accounts, we are able to understand the reality. You and me study literature because we believe there is power in the stories. Every story has a moral. Literature is both intensely personal as well as a communal experience. And as a reader, as a student of literature, we love examining how words, sentences, characters, plot lines, tropes reveal who we are as human beings. This is where we introspect ourselves. When you read a poem or when you read a story, when you come across a person like you in a short story, you undergo a kind of introspection. You have decided to not to commit the type of faults done by the particular character because you have find a kind of oneness with the character. Humanity is a complicated thing. A teacher told me, which is a difficult book? Can you please answer me, my dear students? Which is considered to be the most difficult book in an educational domain? Which is considered to be the most difficult book? Come on. I hope I am audible, my dear students, participants. Divya and Sangeeta.
Sir, it's audible.
Yeah. Come out with your responses. Which is considered to be the most difficult book in the educational arena, educational domain? Come on. Do some thinking and then come out with your responses. Yeah. Very broad answer, Divya. Can you pinpoint it? Yeah, I'm typing the plausible answer. I hope you are able to see now. Every student is considered to be a difficult book. Every student, every human being is a difficult book. Suppose I meet some 300 students in this year. All the 300 students are considered to be 300 difficult books, which I try to read, reread, again read. Some chapters are unread. Some chapters are untouched because they are very, very difficult. Mathematics books, yeah, Miss Annie goes, definitely. Very, very difficult to read. Every student has his own or her own likes and dislikes, whims and fancies. Humanity is a complicated thing, definitely. Particularly in the student's age, we have our own aspirations, our own ambitions. Some of the aspirations, some of the ambitions are unreal, foolish. Some of them are achievable. So we need to understand them. It requires an infinite amount of words to describe and analyze. That is why literary writers are on the rise. They come and they go on writing. We need to describe, we need to analyze human mind. So only through literature it is possible. Only through literature it is possible. There is always a new reality to discover about our culture, American culture, British culture, African culture. So much has been written about African culture, so much has been written about Canadian culture, but still people are writing. There is a new reality to discover. And we accept it. We accept it, and the writer becomes a celebrity. Why do we study literature? What is the importance? As students of literature, we try to express ourselves. We have access to different culture. When you have different, idea about different cultures, you have a better access to your own culture. Only through the characters, you try to understand the human dreams and struggles. You feel that you are struggling in your life, but when you come across a character which struggles right from the birth, then you understand that my life is better. To develop a mature sensibility, to develop compassion for others, to appreciate beauty, and it goes on. Leo Tolstoy once said, and he argued with a fellow writer. Of all literature, quality literature does a great good thing to human beings. Quality literature, good literature. What does it do? Good literature, quality literature. A quality literature gives you a kind of prescription. What is a prescription? Uh, who are we and how shall we live? These are the two directions which are given by quality literature. Who are we? When you read a good piece of literature, when you come across some people, you realize yourself. Who are we? And they give you a kind of direction. How shall we live? What shouldn't be done by us? And these are the answers given by literature. Literature provides you the grounding for it. If you ask me to quote from the past masters, Greek masters, let us have a look at Plato. Plato said poetry as a mere imitation of life. But Aristotle gets an extension. Art of poetry then imitates this imaginative inspiration in language. So that imitation is getting imprinted, getting documented in language. Aristotle said this. But there is another observation. Poet does not imitate, he creates. The reader actually imitates. Every poet is a creator. Every poet is a creator. Actually, the reader imitates. The reader imitates what the poet creates. I think in non-native language, again, literature help us imagine that doesn't happen yet, and caution us definitely. Nice observation, John Martin. Imaginative literature. So far, we have been speaking about imaginative literature. Informative literature has less value, and imaginative literature has a lasting value. It is there with us forever. It gives you a kind of just and lively image of human nature. The movies you and me watch, the heroes which appear on the screen, celluloid media, they appear to be just and lively image of human nature. And whatever they do, it appeals to our own feelings. The passion and humors, as said by Dryden, imaginative literature, it deals with, or they represent the passion and humors of human beings. And you and me have a feeling that we do that action, we undergo that pain. So literature, in a way, it affects people. It teaches them, entertains them, inspires them. Literature shaped civilization, changed political systems, exposed injustices. Only through writing, the world has gained justice. There were many writers. Milton was against all the injustices were happening. John Milton. Some of his writings exposed the injustices prevalent during his time. Everybody will agree with me. Reading literature is a very rewarding experience. Historical literature provides you an idea about the history. And dystopian literature, it warns people of what life could be. We are moving towards post-humanist age. We are now living in the post-humanist age. So dystopian literature, if you read deep about dystopian literature, it gives you a kind of warning what life could be like in the future. What life could be. And I appeal to the young students, friends here, please read about these two things. I shared with one of the students at St. Joseph's College. Now I would like to share it with you again. I think the two letters I'm typing, if you could elaborate on that, it will be very nice. What are they, my dear students, right now? Watch words. Watch words in our domain. What are they? VR and AR. Can you please respond to me? VR and AR. When Miss Divya introduced me, or when Divya handed over the session to me, and she told me the word virtual classroom. So I gave you a clue right now. What is VR and what is AR? Am I with you, my dear students? Yeah, virtual reality. Dilip, Arbit, Anton, very good. Virtual reality. Then come out with the other one, Dilip. AR means. You are right, Dilip. Virtual reality is the right answer. AR means. Dilip, are you able to hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, augmented reality, Dilip. Augmented reality. So virtual
Okay, sir.
reality and augmented reality, these are the two areas which are coming up in the technology, science and technology field, but slowly stepping into our own ELT, English language teaching. English language teaching. Oh, you try to know more about them also. Again, Ethiopian literature inspires, and it tells about what the life could be in a very perfect way. And love poems, as you have been witnessing from Shakespeare time, even before that, there were writers who wrote love poems. Even now, there are writers who write love poems, and we continue to read them. Every poem, every love poem inspires us. Every love poem has a meaning, as an idea to convey. So you spoke about this already, bibliotherapy. So only through literature reading, people are cured from their mental malady. Some prescription are given by some writers. These are the books that you should read. These are the books should be with you always. Such kind of therapy is known as bibliotherapy, and right now, literature people are approached for getting such bibliotherapy. As a student of literature, if somebody approaches you, have some prescription for them. These are the books you should read at this age, and these are the books can be read at the age of 30, at the age of 40, and some books are to be read and reread again and again. They have to be read. Have such kind of list with you to provide your fellow human beings about the list of things to be read by them. So literature is important, and in educational circle, only literature people leads all others, and they provide a kind of platform to everybody. Reading literature is a very pleasurable activity, entertaining activity, and it has the power to provoke thought in readers, making it leisure activity that is also intellectually productive. When I say intellectually productive, reading literature will lead you to intellectually productive, means you can become a creative writer. Right now, there are courses on content writing. There are courses on creative writing. Some of the courses are offered free through online. And for some of the courses, you may have to pay the examination fee. So try to enroll yourself in a course in creative writing. As a student of literature, you can have a certificate after completing some 3 months of online education, some 5 to 6 assignment submission, and one final examination. Some of the Western universities and some of the Indian universities, they can give you some kind of training. A course in creative writing, creative thinking will shape you. As a student of literature, it is a must thing. It is a must thing. You have to learn it, and you have to equip yourself. Again, what is the ability? Literature's ability to capture the imagination and depict the lives of others. It increases the reader's ability to empathize with others. So here I would like to give you a kind of anecdote. There were two friends. They were very seriously affected by Nazi party, Hitler's during the Hitler's regime. They were imprisoned for about 2 years, and they were tortured in the prison. Fortunately, they were released on a fine day by Hitler himself. So after so many years of separation, sorry. So they meet after some 10 to 15 years. After 10 to 15 years. So the friend A has come out of that Nazi imprisonment. He was in the concentration camp. They were on the concentration camp. As I told you, they had a hell lot of time. So friend A has completely forgotten about the whole thing. But friend B is still thinking about the 2 years of imprisonment, the hell lot of time they had in the prison. So even after some 10 to 15 years, the friend B is trying to narrate the whole thing about their imprisonment. Now, this man, friend A, consoles him and encourages him and advises him to come out of it. To come out of it, to forget about it, to forgive the people who tortured them, Hitler, even Hitler, because he comes out with the truth. Hatred brings bondage. If you continue to think about that imprisonment, think about that concentration camp, if you continue to think about Hitler, definitely, even now, you are imprisoned. So friend A is asking friend B to come out of that prison, that imaginary prison in which he is living even after 15 years. And this friend A is giving a kind of empowerment to the friend B. Forgiveness liberates. So you forgive them, you come out of it. This kind of empathizing with others is possible through reading good pieces of literature. Now I slowly step into creative thinking. So I move on to one or two slides. I skip one or two slides. Yeah. Why creativity is important in literature and what is creativity? As already told by your deputy principal, creativity is an essential life skill right now. Essential life skill. And only through innovative thinking, only through your creative imagination, things are possible. Imagine, there was a bishop who visited one of the very popular schools in America. So he wanted to stay there and interact with the principal and the students of the particular school. And after a brief meeting with the students and the teachers and the principal, the bishop and the principal, they were alone and they were discussing about humanity. The name of the bishop was Bishop Wright. Bishop Wright. And the bishop came out with a statement. So much has been found by humanity, and there cannot be any new things from now onwards. People have been enjoying a lot. Actually, this has really happened, my dear students, friends. This really happened in the year 1850 or 1860. 1850 to 1860. The bishop was saying that already so much has been invented, so much has been discovered by human beings, and there is no further growth. I think the world is coming to an end. This is the observation of the bishop, for which the principal refused. No, bishop, I have something to say. What is that something? No. Human beings will invent, human beings will find out, human beings will innovate more and more in another 10 years, in another 20 years, in another 50 years. Who knows? The principal says, who knows? Even human beings may fly in another 50 years. Human beings may fly in the sky in another 50 years. This was an observation by the principal. And in 1905, Orville Wright and Wilbur Wright, they started flying. They had their first flight. Orville Wright and Wilbur Wright. Incidentally, this Orville Wright and Wilbur Wright are the sons of Bishop Wright. I hope you got the point, my dear students, friends here. So only through optimism, only through vision, things are possible. These optimism and vision are possible through creative thinking. Literature people, literature students can do this wonderful thing through their creative thinking. What is creativity? It is a kind of tendency. It is a kind of tendency to generate and recognize ideas, and finding out the alternatives, finding out the possibilities, and finding out the ways in which to solve a problem, and how to communicate, how to entertain ourselves and others. So these are the areas where creativity can be experimented. For example, may I have the permission from Dr. Johnson to go for another 10 to 15 minutes? Dr. Johnson or Dr. Elu?
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Is it possible? Is it possible to retain them for another 10 minutes, Dr. Johnson?
Okay, sir. Dear permission. Actually, with the 5:30, the college gets over. So if you need, just we can.
Okay, 5 minutes. Then 5 to 7 minutes. Huh? In 5 to 7 minutes, I will be able to complete. Yeah.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Thank you, Dr. Johnson. So think about Dr. Bernard Shaw. As you all know, Dr. Bernard Shaw was a great thinker, a social reformer, a radical change maker, I could say. In the beginning of the 20th century, he wanted to have a portrait of himself. At that time, there were no digital cameras or even manual cameras were very much around. So he wanted to have a portrait of himself. So he hired an artist. The artist asked for some £100, and Bernard Shaw has to sit for 3 hours in his house. The artist will make a portrait of Bernard Shaw in 3 hours' time. The agreement was made. On a fine day, the artist came, and Bernard Shaw was sitting there without any movement for 3 hours. The picture is ready. The portrait is ready. So what is the agreement? What is the amount to be given to the artist? £100. So Bernard Shaw is quite happy because the portrait has come out exactly like Bernard Shaw. He was very much pleased. He went inside and he brought out a checkbook and wrote checks for the artist. But instead of writing one check for £100, he wrote 5 checks. Every check has a value of £20. So 5 checks into £20, £100. He gave all the 5 checks to the artist. The artist is confused. Why Bernard Shaw is giving 5 checks? But he was not in a mood to ask Bernard Shaw. Bernard Shaw was a celebrity at that time. The celebrity has no time. So this man went to bank to encash the check. So in the cash counter, the teller, at that time teller, now automatic teller machine, at that time teller, the one who tends cash. The teller was asking, why are you giving me 5 checks? You go and better get 1 check from Bernard Shaw. He came again to Bernard Shaw, and now Bernard Shaw is asking the artist, why did you go to the bank? Now the artist is wondering, Where should I go to encash the money? I should go to the bank. But Bernard Shaw has a different answer. Because of his creative mind, Bernard Shaw is asking, better you go to any street in London and tell the people there you have the autograph of Bernard Shaw. Then see what happens. Now this artist is wondering again. And he was about to leave. And Bernard Shaw is suggesting him a very, very interesting thing. My dear artist, better you tell them the autograph will cost you 30 pounds. And you got some 5 autographs. So the artist went and tested it. Immediately, within 5 minutes, he has collected some 150 pounds in his hands. Now he is happy. Again, Bernard Shaw is also happy. Why, my dear students? Because his money is saved, he has got fame and name, and his portrait is ready. So with one shot, Bernard Shaw was able to get 3 benefits with one shot. So if you want to be a creative thinker, read across different book formats. Read a printed book, read a Kindle version, read a drama, read a magazine, read a weekly magazine, even read your own regional languages books, your own mother tongue books. Read different formats and make time for reading and commit to reading goals. In 2021, there were many groups. They started a program called Vasipai Nesipo. They started reading with a list of reading and be accountable to your own reading goals. Read more than one book at a time. Monday, you are reading a fiction. Tuesday, you are reading a popular magazine. Wednesday, you are reading a humorous book. Have a variety of reading. Read more than one book at a time. Read across genres. Read a play, read a short story, read a poetry. Stop reading a book if you don't like it. Not for the sake of popularity, not for the sake of reading. If you don't like it, stop reading. So read actively, highlight, take notes, make reading lists. So creative thinking will give you a kind of a different way of looking, different way of gathering a different perspective, fresh perspective. This is how all the chairs were made by 4 legs. Some carpenter doesn't have the 4th leg got it ready. So he came out with a chair with 3 legs. In Tamil, we have a term called Mukkali. It was a piece of originality, innovative thinking. It looks nice also. And somebody who always makes mistakes needed an eraser and thought of keeping the eraser on the top of the pencil. And this is how they all came into existence. What is creative thinking? Ability to imagine or invent something new. Only the students of literature can do that. Your own alumnus, Dr. APJ, said once, when learning is purposeful, creativity will automatically blossom. When creativity blossoms, thinking emanates. When thinking emanates, knowledge is fully lit. When knowledge is fully lit, economy of the particular family, particular individual will flourish, and the particular country's economy will automatically flourish. So try to ask right questions, try to become an expert, listen to a lot of talks, listen to all your senses, and do something passionately. Be open and be aware of what is happening outside. You will be definitely creative. Don't wait for fortunate things to happen. Luck will not happen. You create your own luck. There will be many accidents. There will be many failures. So don't get disappointed. Don't allow that to annoy you. Play with the toys. Explore the future. And always have something undone. You can do it later. Because in later days, you will do it in a better way. Try to become a beginner. Generate a lot of ideas. Mingle with the people who are very, very different from you. and set an idea time. Every day you have to have an idea time. In that time, you have to think on your own. Fuse ideas, try to mix ideas. It is not copying. Only through fusing ideas, you will come across a new idea. Make remote associations. People will say that these are all impossible, but things are possible. Use analogy. Always be analytical. Creative people are always analytical. Choose the best ideas from others, from the world. You continue to think, you will get best ideas. Know what you are looking for. Make ideas compete against each other. You may have a fresh idea tomorrow, and you have got some idea today. Try to have a kind of competition with the two ideas and weigh them. Never stop editing. Never stop editing. If you want to be creative, never stop editing. You have started writing a poem, you go on editing and editing till the moment you are sending it to the publisher or to the college magazine committee. In the meantime, you have edited it for some 15 times or 20 times. Then your poem would have come out well. Make something out of your great ideas. Draw a picture, make a collage of your ideas, collage of your thought. So do all these 5 thinking styles of thinking, students. Only the students of literature can do all these thinkings. Divergent thinking, lateral thinking, aesthetic thinking. You know the value of good literature. And systems thinking. In systems thinking, you are trying to synthesize all the ideas. And finally, do always inspirational thinking. Don't go for ordinary insight. Go for radical insight. Shake the world through your radical insight. So try to be a good thinker always. Entertain all these forms of thinking: divergent thinking, lateral thinking, aesthetic thinking, systems thinking, inspirational thinking. Definitely you will become a creative thinker very soon from the St. Joseph's College. I wish you all the very best, my dear students, friends. So far, I have been highlighting just 4 things. What is literature? What is the importance of literature? What is creative thinking? What is the role creative thinking plays in every piece of literature? And I told you, you can become a creative thinker. And I told you some strategies to develop your own creative thinking. I hope you understood the ideas that I presented. Now the house is open for questions. Just 1 minute, you can ask me some questions, my dear students. Over to you. I think Dr. Elu and Dr. Johnson. Any questions, my dear students? Any observations? Feel free.
Those who have any doubt,
Come
you
out with
can
your.
post it in the chat box.
Yeah. I welcome it.
By your silence, we can understand. Sir, make it very clear. My dear fellow mates, I am sure you agree with us when you say that if it was an insightful speech about literature and creative thinking. I would like to thank our webinar speaker, Dr. K. Tamilmani, for enlightening us with their knowledge. Today's lecture was full of knowledge and interesting things. It gave deep insights into the topic and also revealed some interesting facts like bibliography. Imaginative literature is more than informative literature and experience as stories. On behalf of the Department of English and the members of the English Literary Association, I thank you for your inspiring words, sir. Good things
Thank you,
come
ma'am.
to
Thank
those.
you, Rodivya. Thank you, Rodivya.
Thank you, sir. Good things come to those who believe. Better things come to those who are patient. And the best things come to those who don't give up. Collective work is the secret behind the success. Thank you is a prayer that has to be felt by heart. Now I call upon Mr. Dilip from 3rd BA English Literature to deliver the vote of thanks.
It's an honor to have been asked to offer a vote of thanks on the special occasion of English Association meeting in our college. On behalf of my college and the entire management group here, I am very happy to thank all the speakers for sharing their graceful words with us in today's occasion. Better than 1,000 years of diligent study, one day with a great teacher. The Honorable and respected chief guest, an outstanding educator, mechanism scholar, Dr. K.T. Tamilmani, Head Department of English, Nehru Memorial College, Pudanampatti. I want to thank the chief guest who gave his vital time from his busy schedule to create this event. Your thoughts have enlightened our minds, have shown us a new bright path. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Dilip. Thank you for the nice words.
A leader in who knows the way and goes the way and shows the way. I am very glad to thank Dr. V. Alex Ramani, the Deputy Principal of our college. I wish to express my gratitude to the Deputy Principal. His presence has filled us with a great pride. He is a motivating force and the source of encouragement to all of us. He is a solid support and guidance. He always gives us positive energy in every academic event of the college. I sincerely thank him for his gracious felicitation address. Leadership is unlocking people's potential to become better. My sincere thanks to Dr. A. Johnson Francis, the coordinator, Department of English, Shift 2. His presence filled us with immense pressure. He always gives us a moral support and guidance in all academic events of the department. The Department of English Shift 2 made a stunning and significant achievement under his leadership. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, dear.
My sincere thanks to Dr. A. Nairu and G. Professor Annie Rose for organizing this great event, and a special thanks to Professor G. Annie Rose for introducing the association secretaries. I glad to thank Dr. V. L. Jayapal, the Head Department of English, St. Joseph College, for sharing his valuable time with us. I also extended my thanks to all the staff members for the enormous cooperation within the organization of this great event. I show the appreciation to the people who have been the strength of this association meeting. We thank you for being with us. It has remained us pronounced pleasure. We have been fortunate enough to be backed by a team, a very proactive and dedicated secretaries of our association. All are well versed in their job. Thank you all. Finally, I thank all my beloved friends for your kind and patient listening to this great event. Thank you all.
Thank you, Dilip, for your gratitude words. I thank my department for giving this wonderful opportunity to explore myself. We sincerely thank everyone for organizing this event in a constructive way. Thanks for your patient listening. I thank the Department of English, resource persons, staffs, and students for making this event an effective one. Thank you all.
Okay, thank you, Divya. Maybe on the behalf of the department, I like to thank Dr. Tamilmani sir. Actually, he has prepared a lot. Sorry that we couldn't allot you a lot of time for you. I also thank all the secretaries. Actually, they put nearly 1 week of hard work along with the Professor Annie Rose and Dr. Eling Aire. Of course, he has been hunting for a person, a resource person. It was well organized. Just I want to thank especially all my students. Really worked hard in taking practice and everything. Thank you, dear students. Thank you, sir, for being part, and thank HOD for being part of the program. Thank you, sir. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Dr. Johnson Francis, Dr. L. Nairu, Dr. V. L. Jayapal for this wonderful platform. I enjoyed a lot, and your student participation is very, very amazing, and it motivated me. As said by Dr. Johnson Francis, I missed some of these slides for want of time. Better you will give me an opportunity later, and I'll be visiting St. Joseph's very often. Definitely, you will have an interaction. We'll have an interaction with the students. So thank you, everybody. Thank you very much, Dr. Jayapal sir. Thank you very much, Dr. Elu, Dr. Johnson,
Yeah,
and the
sure,
students,
sir.
friends.
In person we can meet, sir.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And my sincere appreciation and best wishes to all the new office bearers. Try to do well. Try to do more activities. And if you need any support, we'll give you the support. Thank you. Thank you, sir. Right, sir. Right, sir.
Thank you so much, sir.
we all can sign off.